Another. Double book.
Since you mentioned Kevin already had scripts done for the animated series, there's a lot more avenues now available. Has ever been consideration of revisiting in a different format, whether on the internet or getting those done? I'm sure the cast is willing.
No, we're holding out. It's all on us. No, well, Jay actually has taken the reins of a lot of things. He's made that Jay and Silent Bob super groovy cartoon movie. Has anybody seen that? He's taken that on tour. It actually is. Hey, Ming, when does that come out on Netflix?
It's supposed to be out now.
It's out now on
It's supposed to
Netflix.
be out now.
And then when is DVD, do you think?
Soon.
Soon.
Good answer.
Stay tuned.
I don't know.
Stay tuned. If anybody, and I'm sure Jay on his Twitter account will announce it. And if not, Ming is the mouthpiece of a lot of View Askew stuff. So just follow Ming Chen, and you'll get it out there. But it's a funny thing, and that was done by Stark. What's his first name? Steven Stark is the animator who did that. And so because the animation rights of that actual look of the animated series is owned by Disney, it's kind of very sketchy of doing that style again. But if Kevin, I've always said, hey, what's great about animation is it doesn't matter how hideously we look on film, we don't have to be, it's just voices. Sometimes you look at that cast of The Simpsons, like, ooh, man, thank God they have their voices.
I always said of those, the first three are good, the last three are brilliant.
Oh, thank you.
They're very good.
But I mean, hopefully, we would love to do it. It all depends. It's such a logistically legal thing that I have no idea. That's a Kevin's lawyer type of question.
I mean, seriously, having Judge Reinhold play Judge Reinhold.
Any other questions, folks?
Movies.
Okay, this is my question. At the end of Clerks 2, when you pan back into black and white, and the guys were sitting behind the counter, Scott Mosier said in a commentary, or maybe behind the scenes or something, that he felt like at the last moment they were like, oh my God, what have we done? But do you feel that way? Because like for me, it felt like cathartic, like this is where we were supposed to be. And when I heard him say that, I was like, oh, that's not nice. So I don't know, how do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, when you think about it, you're now a store owner, and if customers don't come to your store, you were responsible for bills. And then it's like, oh shit, now we're responsible. Before, we were just employees who could give a fuck, play hockey on the roof or whatever. Now it's like, I gotta get people in here to buy milk. So I think that's what he meant by that whole kind of, and that was kind of the note that Kevin gave to Jeff and I. It was like, hey, I want you to have the pride, and then as the reality sinks in, it's like, oh, we're back where we started from. The place that we hate this place, we gotta go out and do things. Now we're trapped back here again. So it can go that way.
Okay.
This is the type of question that when you were in English class and the author meant in this, you see the symbolism of such and such, and meanwhile the author would be like, no, not at all, that's not at all what I meant, but okay.
I figure someone should ask, what's the story with Clerks 3? Sorry.
Well, you guys have been my neighbors throughout most of these cons. You'll know the exact same answer. The script has been written. I've read the script. Kevin is in the middle of, Test comes out on the 19th. He's shooting Yoga Hosers now. If we can find, since the Weinstein Company has passed on producing it, if we can, once we get the next production company and distribution company on board, then the negotiations with cast and locations come in order, and then we should hopefully, if the stars align and everybody feels kumbaya, we can hopefully start shooting it by spring of next year, maybe summer, and then which would mean Kevin likes to edit as we shoot, so he's very fast at editing, and it's not like this is a Michael Bay special effects thriller. Although it's much grander in scale, I can say that.
I have read the script.
I have read the script, and it's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious, and very touching too. There's very touching moments, and it's like, and he said this in his podcast and tweets, that it's like a 65-70% of Randall's storyline, which is fucking hilarious. So if we can get that all done, hopefully, it'd be out by probably this time or October of next year, which would then make it technically 21 years since the first one was made and released.
Old enough to drink?
Yeah, wow, that's the tagline. Clerks, 21 and now old enough to drink.
Awesome.
Trademark. You better trademark that, yeah.
Now they want beer instead of catering.
Yeah, exactly. Hey man, yeah, we open up a liquor store. There you go.
Is there a role for everybody?
Yeah, exactly. Is there a role for everybody?
Everybody there?
Oh, that's a Kevin question.
I am in it.
Yeah, he has said that she is in it. And
But so it's like the Revenge of the Chuli's Gum represented?
all of a sudden, you know how the Terminator, when he's about to kill somebody, can, he goes, you know, against his protocol. That's what happened. I was like, non-disclosure lawyer, sued if you say anything. You're not going to get out of me, just like you're not going to get anything tusk out of him.
So I've got a question about any of Kevin's movies that you've worked on. They're all very conversational, as you know, and I just wonder how much were you allowed to improvise with any of these lines, or is he he's very stickler for the lines?
You've worked on almost everything of his.
And before Clerks.
And you've seen him direct big A-list stars, so you have great stories.
Well, since the beginning.
I love this part of this story.
Pressure.
Well, no, I mean, I'll go as far back as from grammar school, when Kevin used to write stuff for us to do.
We have 15 minutes left.
I was always, we were big Saturday Night Live fans, me and Kevin. And my friend Mike Pellicos, which is the In a Row guy.
In a row?
In a Row. We were big on improv and all that kind of stuff, and once Kevin starts writing the script, that stuff goes, he would literally yell at us for going off the script. On stage, any production, any kind of skit, he would yell at us because he likes us to stick to the page. Now, I've working alongside Affleck and Bruce Willis and those kind of guys on certain films with Kevin and his script, he would not like them to have the liberties either. Wow. There was certain points where Affleck could kind of squeeze a little bit out of him.
Dogma. Right after Dogma, he won the Oscar for
Yeah,
Will Hunting.
yeah, I mean-
all pumped up.
Right. I mean, Affleck tried flexing a little bit, but I mean, like in Chasing Amy's, a certain couple scenes, he tried doing some stuff, and Kevin, he just let him treat him and let him do a couple things, but then, you know, Kevin edits it. You know, and he has final say in everything, pretty much. And Willis did it on Cop Out a little bit. He did a whole rant scene, at least 10-minute rant scene, Willis did on the streets of New York. And I'm sitting there behind the camera with Kevin, because I was in the scene before, and I'm looking at Kevin, and he goes, I'm just going to let him go. I don't know. Just gonna let him ramble on. I mean, he's literally throwing items into the street, making this whole big hoopla. Because I think what Willis's thing was, he was trying to upstage Tracy Morgan and Sean William Scott, who were, I don't know if you've seen the film, but they're really, you know, the comic geniuses in that movie. And Willis was trying to capture that and thought he was funny, and he wasn't. And so Kevin just, you know, again, had his arguments with him after the fact, but yeah, you can do what you want, but in the long run, Kevin's not going to let you get away with it. Even if it's gold. I mean, I did some improv on, oh, fuck me. Yeah, it was Jersey Girl. So my scene, thank you, sir. The old one remembers.
See? Abuse the old guy.
So I had a scene where, I don't know if anybody recalls, but I was chanting the Fresh Prince during the Hard Rock scene. And Ben Affleck was on stage, and we were breaking his balls because he had baby powder all over him. And Kevin just said, well, just go with it, say the lines, but, you know, don't go too crazy. So I started rapping the whole Will Smith song, Fresh Prince, you know, and had the whole crowd going and hoopla and all that kind of shit. And then I walked to the side, and Kevin goes, that was great, but it's not going in. I was like, dude, did you see Affleck up there? He was fucking laughing his ass off. He's like, yeah, but this is going in. So, I mean, he's cool. He'll let you do a little bit, but if it don't work for the script, it ain't going to happen. But he likes to keep tight to the script.
That's
really.
probably a legal thing, though, isn't it? Like song-wise, you would have to pay royalties for.
Well, yeah, but you gotta. Yes, but no. But in the movie, I mean, Will Smith was referenced in the movie, so I don't. And he was, you know, at the end of the movie.
Right, but
So.
the record label would be like, that's our motherfucking song.
Well, yeah,
We want
but I
our
mean-
motherfucking check.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that would have been an issue if it worked, but maybe that was the reason why I cut it.
I think that is. I don't think it should.
I'm trying to say that your performance was awesome.
Thank you.
I can add to that though on that question, because there was a line in Clerks where Kevin did come to me, and I'm sorry, but I can't remember the line, but he did ask me, would a female even say that? And I said, probably not. So that line was changed.
Yeah.
The only line out of the whole thing.
But his vocabulary is very specific, the way Kevin writes. I mean, and, you know, it just, if it's not said the way he wants it to be said, it kind of irks him a little bit. I mean, we used to write skits in high school. We'd stay up for nights, days, and put all these comedy skits together, and I'd say this, and he'd say that, and we'd come up with this brilliant plan. It'd be awesome, it'd be fucking great. Okay, it's gonna be great, we're gonna do it. So a couple days before the skit, Kevin would say, all right, I made a couple changes. I said, okay, fine, just give it to me, we'll work it out. All my shit was gone. And that's just the way it went. His stuff was still brilliant. It's just that, it was, when it comes to that, his writing just, is stellar. So you can't really complain about it.
How do you guys feel about the fact that you hung out and palled around with Batman?
You played cards. This guy played cards with Batman, right?
Yeah, we did. There was when Rounder's 10 years anniversary was going on. It was also 10 years of Clerks X, and so the DVD company flew us out for we were in LA already, I think, and we took the Maloof plane to the Palms because they were holding the Maloof private jet.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, I wasn't invited.
Sorry. It was funny because Jay was already playing Ben on the plane cards, and we were using Scrabble chips as chips. And it was a charity event for Ben Affleck's charity at the time, and Matt Damon was there, and all like professional poker players were there too. And so we got to play it. I actually folded Ace King against Miami John Sununu. He was there. And he bid this big raise, and I had Ace King, and I was like, I'm folding. I was at the time. But hey, I lasted longer than Affleck, so.
You guys just got a moment there.
It was. But yeah, that was that. But remember, Affleck is playing Batman in a Superman movie. You know what I mean? It's a Superman movie first. And so I think he's going to do a really good job, actually. So I don't doubt it. He fills the suit well. I don't think they're going to have to draw nipples on the suit. Right. We'll see. Any other questions? Comments? Complaints? Returns? Yes.
Oh, complaint.
Now I can be extra loud, thanks. As convention guests regularly, what were your most interesting guest-to-guest interactions? Did you have anybody that you always looked up to as a big star come up to you and say, I'm your biggest fan, or I love this movie, or anything like that you wouldn't have expected at a convention from another guest?
Mine's not a big deal story, but it was Philly Wizard Con 2010 in the green room, and we were all just hanging around and getting our little snacks and whatnot. And Sarah Connor, Linda Hamilton, walks up to me, and she's just being pleasant. And she says, hi, I'm Linda Hamilton. And I thought, yeah. But I just thought, that blew me away at how humble and sweet she was, and to introduce herself in that way. Like, of course, but I guess you never assumed. I guess you would assume that, no.
Dude, she has half of Cameron's Titanic money. Of course she's like, hey, what's up? I'm a millionaire.
Actually, no.
But I just thought it was really sweet. And then she did have I don't know if it was a niece or a nephew or somebody who was a huge fan of the film, of course, which was always so cool to hear. But it was just really sweet. I just never would have expected her to come up to me and introduce herself by name as if I didn't know, type of thing. But I've never had a bad situation. Everybody I've met has been really cool and gracious. And
I had
Nice to the elderly.
yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly. She was just saying, oh, he's hard of hearing. No, I had a really cool one. There was Horror Hound in Pittsburgh had a reunion of American Werewolf in London. So they had David Naughton, Griffith Dunn, and John Landis, actually, the writer, the director, a bit there. And I remember we were still setting up and stuff, and I'm putting my stuff on my table of the first day, and all of a sudden John Landis comes over like, hey man, I'm a big fan of yours, I love your work, I think you're hilarious, I'm glad to see you, blah, blah, blah. I was just like, oh my god, it's fucking John Landis. And in my head I'm like, oh wow, he's the same one who did the Twilight Zone with Dick Merle and Crash. I'm like, I wonder how far the head went. And that's how I think sometimes. So there was photo ops for the guests and stuff. So there was I knew the guy Froggy, who was the cameraman, who did photo ops, and I said, hey Froggy, I want to do 2 photos. Let me know when John Landis does photo ops. I want to sign up for 2. He's like, all right. So I get into the photo ops, and when you do photo ops, the guest is in the area of the photo, and they just stream in guests that person after person to take pictures with at a certain time. So I come in, he's like, oh hey, yeah, and I said, John, do you mind if we do 2? He goes, absolutely, not a problem. So we do the standard, standing, hey, we're shaking hands. And it's like, I have a question. Could I get one where it looks like you're fucking me in the ass? He's like, what? He's like, oh yeah. So I'm like this, and he's John like. And I was like, no one in the world has a picture of John Landis fucking me in the ass. So then they get printed out, right? And so then I bring it to him to sign, and he's just like, so for the one the fucking in the ass, because the one that was the standard of is like, looks like we're a bunch of politicians, right? Would you vote for me? Something like that. And then the other one's like, you owe me my $60. That's really, really funny. So that's my great little celebrity type of fan interaction.
All of the celebrities that I've met that I'm a fan of, and then I just go and introduce myself to them, and they're like, oh yeah, I know. That in itself blows my mind. That the fact that they actually know me, enjoy the movie, and all that kind of stuff. Because I don't go there on the assumption that anybody knows who the hell I am.
Neither do I, actually. I don't either.
Yeah.
Because when I say, hi, I'm Brian, they go, well, yeah. I'm like, no, I don't assume nothing.
And I never have to worry about that because they don't. Well, you're gonna slam myself.
Yeah, well, you make sure by wearing the Clerks jersey everywhere you go.
Represent.
And just in case you get lost, it's like a medical alert bracelet. It's like, oh, he's the Julie's gum guy. We gotta get him back home.
I belong on the bus. Does the bus leave without me? It's pudding night back at the home.
So why don't you tell us what's next for you guys as we sort of
Dinner.
Dinner.
Cute. What can we look forward to?
You have
other than
music stuff coming up. Your audio book. Come on, shut up.
All right. This panel is awesome enough to be. They're going to be guest readers on my audiobook project. I did a book 2 years ago.
What's the title?
Vicious Dogs Attack Me in Sleepless Nights of Summer, a love story. No, well, it's going to be big beans. No.
It's out now on Amazon.
Yeah, no, the book is out now. It's
Or at your table.
Or at my table. It's a collection of poems and short stories written during the time we shot Clerks, late 80s, early 90s.
Late 80s.
Yeah, well,
Your writing was,
right? Right. And so we're going to do an audio version of that book. I'm involved in the shooting Clerks film. Can't speak too much about that only because the project, I just can't, but it's going to be awesome.
What's that about? What's Shooting Clerks about?
Well, maybe, I don't know, Ernie, you're part of that too. Can you talk a little bit about that? Or will you? Or would you rather not? You keep your ears and eyes to the internet, you'll find all about it. It's the unofficial biopic of Kevin Smith.
Being filmed in Scotland.
Yes, being filmed in Scotland at the moment. They're almost wrapped, and they are coming to the U.S. Within the next month to shoot some scenes here. I can't tell you what it's about, but it's somewhat about Kevin's life story, loosely. I'll say that. On that, and then my other, I'm doing a movie with Gene Snitsky, Big Gene outside there. A movie called Manhunt coming up. I'm also doing something with Kevin, the Anti-Krampus movie. It's a horror trilogy. And a couple other things I got in the works, but right now that's it for me.
It's just going to be awesome to hear people do Kevin in a brogue.
Yes.
In a bear, a Scottish bear. You over here, just snooch your brooches, my man. I've
How they sound.
It's a great part.
I'm on the show, and that's like how they sound too.
Instead of the long coat, Silent Bob has a kilt. I'm gonna fuck this bitch, gonna fuck that bitch, gonna fuck anything that moves. You cute silly Bob, I go down on you like a bagpipe. Squeeze them like they. Yeah, sorry.
The producers.
Did I just cross the line? Yeah, now we've just lost Scotland. Sorry. So fuck them, they're not coming over now making fun of me. Project like that. I don't look it. What did you just say? I don't know. Sounds like we're freaking it up here. I have a film that I just worked on called Hindsight 2020. It's a post-apocalyptic thriller. They're in post right now. Hopefully we can get that out either by the end of this year or the beginning of next year. So look for it, Hindsight 2020. I think is Hindsight 2020, the movie is the website, I believe. I'm also doing my own podcast, which I'm recording episodes throughout the past 2 months. Hopefully we get to launch it in October, called the O'Halloran. I've done actually a couple episodes with the folks up here as well, and a few others. So getting all the logoing and everything working out on that for now, hopefully, like I said, in October. And then some friends of mine are trying to get together a comedy web series, kind of like The Office, but based out of a community theater in New Jersey. So it should be kind of fun. And then hopefully, if we can get all the logistics and production stuff ready, we can start shooting Clerks 3 at some point next year.
I've got 2 movies that are basically going to be coming out. No, one has come out, and the other one coming out very soon. Sci-fi called Starship Rising, which is a galactic war, and I play a warlord. That's fine. The other one's called Lake Erie, and I sell a haunted house to a woman. Haunted? Yeah, it's called. No, not really haunted. Just strange things happen there. I do audiobooks, so I've got 3 out there now. You can find them on audible.com.
Any literotica?
No. But there's good money in that, I hear.
That's why I asked.
Then I will hopefully be doing Clerks 3 soon as well. I mean, I am in it. That's a definite. So that I got that. And
Unless you improv, then you're out of it.
I've got a couple of other films that they're just kind of waiting on funding. So I don't really talk about it because you never know what's going to happen on that. And in the middle of an audiobook right now. And one thing that I'm looking to do once I get the audiobook out of the way is I am going to start looking for my own project to do, to direct and produce.
Right on.
Nice.
I think we're out of time, but I want to take a moment to thank the folks from Clerks. Everybody give them a hand.
We'd also like to thank Scott Holden, also known for the podcast of That Man on Fat Man. Look forward to yourself. Yes, Chris Redondo. I'd also like to thank Ming Chen for walking over from his table. Thank you for keeping us entertained. I believe he's been Instagramming every other sentence. He's a big fan of. Look for him on Instagram, Ming Chen. Also, the new season of Comic Book Men comes out when, sir?
October 12th.
October 12th. Right after The Walking Dead, so you're on at what, 4 in the morning now? What is it?
Can you do your Stewie impression?
Stewie, Brian! Remember that episode when he's looking for him? Brian! What? You vile woman! There we go. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to be sued by Seth, which, by the way, I'm a big fan of Seth's work. I loved A Million Ways to Die in the West. I thought it was hilarious. Some people didn't like it. I thought it was funny. I'm a guy for that kind of bullshit humor. Robert Bruce's son, everybody, eating food. Look out for Burn in Hell, the writer-director of a film called Burn in Hell. Look out for that. Any other plugs? We got Wolverine right over here. So look out for the next movie. All right, guys, we're done. There's a movie coming in next, so I would make that announcement, but I don't know what it is.